Welcome to our Unit 5, which is all about programming. And if you look at our overview in Schoology, you'll see that Unit 5 is an introduction to programming, where students are introduced to some basic issues associated with program design and development. Students design algorithms and create programming solutions to a variety of computational problems using iterative development process in Scratch. And we'll also be using code.org. So we may not use Scratch, but we will use code.org for this one. And the iterative part, iterative actually means to repeat. Okay, so relating to or involving iteration. So if we look up the definition of iteration, we actually see that it is the repetition of a process. And so the repetition of a process, this process specifically being creating a program and going through that process over and over until we get it to work the way that it's supposed to work. Programming problems include mathematical and logical concepts and a variety of programming constructs. And so here you'll see our unit standards. These are the things that we're going to be doing based on our Exploring Curriculum Science Unit 5 standards. So use appropriate algorithms to solve a problem, design, code, test, and execute a problem that corresponds to a set of specifications, apply appropriate use of programming structures. You'll have to be able to define these terms and then demonstrate proper use of the terms within a program. You'll be able to locate and correct errors in a program, which we will be doing constantly. That's just part of it. And then use abstraction to reduce complexity. And by the end of this unit, you'll be able to explain abstraction and identify examples of abstraction in everyday life. So for our final project, we will create a program that incorporates the unit objectives as a summative assessment. It will actually be an interactive card. So let's go ahead and get started with our first lesson. This is coming from Unit 3 on code.org, which is interactive animations and games. Now, because of our time crunch, we won't actually have time to get to the games part, but we will be able to get to the interactive part. So I want you to, in your journal, answer this question. What is your favorite form of entertainment, and what problem does it solve for you? Whether it's movies, music, art, games, or any number of other options, we have many different types of entertainment that are available to us. So I'm going to give you about a minute to answer this in your journal. And you're going to create your journal in Schoology, right here where it says Unit 5 Journal. So one of my favorite forms of entertainment is reading. And what problem does it solve for me? If I'm bored, which I guess that could happen. If I'm bored, reading helps solve that problem because of the types of books that I read. They are very entertaining. So our question of the day is, how is computer science used in entertainment? So let's go ahead and look at our activity. activity, you will need to download a copy of the activity guide, which is going to be on the assignment post. Okay, looks like this. It will say lesson 1, and so that's how you know that you're on the right activity guide. And so in this activity, there are a number of potential fields for research. And these specific fields were chosen to go along with resources that are provided on Code Studio. But if you want to look into other resources, you can do that. So you'll look into some of the ways that people are developing software that entertains. You'll research how computer science plays a role in movies and television, music, games, art, and any other topic that might come to mind that we didn't list here. So let's look at this. This is an example. Topics, check the one that you've selected. So choose one of these or another one if you prefer. And then you're going to research the topic. Go online to research how computer science has impacted your field of entertainment. Record notes about interesting products you find, patterns that you're seeing, and problems in your topic that people are trying to address. So here's what some of that research might look like. You'll just write down some notes. Okay? Interesting information. Based on the research that you do, or if you want to pair up with somebody in your class, your group did on the last page, select one of the uses of computer science you found to focus on. What problem does it solve? How is it an improvement? What's an interesting fact or use? And what is an open question in the field? So what problem does it solve? All right, how is it important? An interesting fact or use? And an open question in the field. We want you to be able to share some of these things with the rest of your class, but that may be a little bit difficult for a virtual class because that would require you talking to other people, and some people prefer not to do that. So let's look at what code.org will look like for you. This is lesson 1. We're going to look at some sample programs. And for the previous slide, the research your topic, I will give you some links in the assignment post that you can work with, okay? Let's look at some examples. We're going to have a chance to create our own entertainment through animations and games using a tool called GameLab. Here are some samples of programs that were made using GameLab. So this is called a stamp pad. You're going to click Run to start the program, and then use stamp pad to draw pictures with simple colors and stamps. So when you hit play, you get to choose a character or a color. All right, pretty simple, right? And if we wanted to show a grid, we could. That's going to be it for that. You'll want to make sure that you go through these yourself also, so that way it shows that you've completed these. In level 2, combining images, text, and some subtle animation can make for really interesting comics or graphic stories. Click Run to see an example. For this one, they click Run, and you don't do anything. It's just kind of like a joke. What kind of music do planets sing? Neptunes, get it? Okay, so once you see how that works, click Finish. Alien Jumper. Press Run to play the game on the left. You can make the alien jump with a spacebar and move it to the left and right with the arrow keys. You score by collecting stars, and if you score high enough, the background will change. So we want to, oh, did I just die? Quite possibly. So let's see how. Oh no, oh no. Guess what? You can jump with the space bar, right? Okay, so try not to go off screen, right? Press the space bar to move up so you don't just float right on down. If you need to take a breather, you can. Let's see how many it takes to get to a new background. Or why don't you keep going and let me know. This is called Hungry Bunny. The bunny is hungry and it's looking for mushrooms and carrots for dinner. To win, you'll need to find a dinner bowl, then collect at least 10 carrots and mushrooms. Make sure to avoid the bugs. Ladybugs and snails will eat your food and bees will sting you, making you drop everything. Use the space bar to jump. These are our instructions, okay? You can squash the ladybugs and snails by jumping on them. Spacebar to jump, find a bowl to start collecting food. Ooh, I don't have a bowl. Oh, there's a bowl. So jump, collect your food. Oh no. Okay, well, all right. So play through this, see how it goes. Now I got to find a new bowl. Otherwise, I can't collect any food, so that's great. All right. Play through this, and then whenever you get done, hit finish. And then I want you to go back to your journal, okay? This is the lesson 1 wrap-up journal based on what you saw today, both in your research and the example apps. What kinds of programs are you most interested in learning to create? Answer that in your journal. Okay, so pause it here to answer that and then come back, and I want you to also answer the question of the day. How is computer science used in entertainment? And this is the end of lesson 1. You'll need to submit your activity guide to Schoology. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, instead of giving you a PDF, I'm going to give you the Google Doc. So that way you can just type what it is that you want. And if you wanted to download it as a PDF and just do it that way, you can still do that. If you want to translate this to a different language, go to Tools, Translate Document, choose your language, okay, and then hit Translate, and it will translate that for you. And that should make things a lot easier if you would prefer to have it in another language. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to submit a completed activity guide to Schoology. Thanks.